Hey everyone, welcome to this AutoCAD 2017 tutorial on how to design a yacht. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what a yacht is, it kind of looks something like this. And our goal is to at least design this base profile of the hull so that we'll be able to hopefully add the rest of things later. Now, whether or not it'll be successful, I'm not 100% sure, but let's go ahead and find out. To start, I would like you to open up a new drawing file in AutoCAD and then start with a polyline. So type in P line, enter. And we're going to be drawing the top of the yacht as if you're looking at it from the sky. So over here, I'm going to click once to start drawing out my polyline, but it has to be an arc. So right click, go to arc, and we want it to be a 2-point arc because those are usually better to work with. So right click, go to second point, and now we have the yacht component. So go out, let's say a very small amount at first, and click to draw out kind of like a semi-sharp line there, or semi-sharp arc, but then go out a bit further, like so, and then click again, maybe one more arc, so click again. Let's take a look how that's looking. That's looking pretty good. So the last thing we're going to do is right-click, use the line tool, and we're going to go vertical with a line with a slight angle, or not vertical, but slight angle. And then, yeah, let's say here it's fine, and click once more. Okay, so I'm going to press escape a few times. That is the half of the top profile of the yacht, and we'll see what it turns out of. But we're going to eventually mirror the second half once it's in our mesh mode. Okay, now we need to create the front of this. But we want to blend everything in together. So the first thing we need to do is switch our views. Click on this little negative sign over here. And when you do so, go to where it says Viewpoint Configuration List. And we're going to need 3 views to make this. So go to 3 left. And what that's going to do is it's going to create 3 profile views that are currently all the same. So on this window over here, we're going to change this from a top view to a side view, or a front view in this case. So go to front, and this is the front view of this curved line. And just to show you what I mean, like I'm looking at the top right now, but if I rotate this window to look at the front, you'll notice that the line is currently flat, just like this is. So we're just looking at that line in a different angle. Okay, now we need to draw out the front profile. So if you think about the front profile, it's pretty sharp edge, then a little cut, then a more sharp edge, and then flat. So it's pretty much, what, 4 lines to build that. So that's what we're going to do over here. Let's go to wherever the front is. And I'm just going to take a look at the size and say, okay. And I'm going to draw a line. So line, or not a line, polyline, my bad. P line, enter. And I'm going to click at this point. And you're going to notice it's drawing stuff on the others, and it's, if you're looking at the top view, it's actually drawing it from where we want it to. And then we are going to, not a whole much, just going to click down for our line. I'm going to go out a little bit, click again, go out a little bit more, and click once more. And then after that, I'm just going to extend this out up until the end of the yacht. And if I need a reference, you can click, or not click, but like hover over this point, and it should generate you the tracking. And also to help you out, turn on ortho mode, because that always helps, or usually always helps. And then get that tracking onto that point. Okay, and then click once more to get it there. So that's a profile. Now looking at that compared to this one's a bit wider, which is fine. It might not perfectly fit at the start, but you can now select these segments and adjust them to meet the requirements of the project. So I'm just going to select them from those middle portions and then adjust them accordingly. That's a little wide. Let's go to about here. This one to about there. And I'm going to stretch this line out about here. Okay, so something like that is fine. Let me stretch this one out to there. Okay, so that's looking good so far. So we just need to create one more line. and that line has to be for the side profile. So let's go to left, and I'm going to zoom out so you can see what the left looks like. This is the edge of our ship, the bottom of the ship. And let me also adjust this so you can kind of see what's happening here. So this is the profile we've drawn so far. You know, that's our front, that's the top we drew. So if you can just notice that when I hover over to where the left is, it looks exactly like this one. So you can kind of see what we're working with. And our goal is to try to take this line and connect it to that line using these three profile views. Okay, so to get started, make sure you're on this view, and I want you to rotate this. And if you're having trouble rotating it, you hold down Shift, click in the middle scroll wheel, or you just use the view cube and kind of click on one of these, not that one, on like this top view over here, so you can see it better. Okay, so on your left view, make sure you type in P-line, enter, and then you are going to start at this point and bring that down. Make sure your ortho mode is on, and we'll say, you know, it's a pretty flat boat, so we'll click over there once. Then turn off ortho mode, right click, go over to arc, right click, go to 2-point, and let's put a point, let's say right over here, and then the last one right over there. Okay, I'm going to press escape a few times, and if you did that successfully, whoops, you should now have a 3D profile. So that's looking pretty good. Okay, before we mesh this, we require 4 essentially line segments in order to use the edge surf command, and currently we have 1, 2, 3. So to get that 4th one, we have to break one of these lines. To break a line, it's fairly simple. You just type in break, enter, and with that command selected, you just need to click on a line, let's say this bottom one, and you'll notice that I've created a break at a certain point. Now we don't actually want to create a huge gap or anything inside the hull of the boat, so in order just to place it down on the exact same point where I clicked on, or where you clicked on, just use the ACT command, which you can access by holding down Shift and pressing 2 on the keyboard to get an AT, and press enter. And now that line, if you select it, you're going to notice is 2 segments. Okay, so in order to get the most complex mesh possible, we need to go past what AutoCAD defaults to, which is about 6 mesh units. So what I'd like you to do on this screen is type in Surf Tab 1. Press enter, and Surf Tab 1, and then you can specify how many you want past the 6. So you'll say 6 here. Let's just go ahead and say 30. That's going to give us a very nice mesh. Press enter. Okay, and then we also want to do the same for Surf Tab 2, which controls the mesh in the vertical direction. So go ahead and type in 30, press enter, and now we should have a very nice mesh. So lastly, we got to use the command called Edge Surf, located right there. Press enter, and then you have to select 4 line profiles. So there is 1, there is 2, there is 3, and there is 4. And if you did it correctly, AutoCAD's going to generate the hull profile of your boat. So that's looking really cool, and we can also change it to shaded so you can kind of see what happened over there. Lastly, let's go ahead and mirror this. So switch back to your 2D wireframe mode. We need to be looking at the hull from the bottom. So let's look at it so we're seeing that side profile. And make sure your ortho mode is on so that we can mirror this really nicely. On this screen, type in the mirror command, press enter, select this object, press enter, and then click on the point where the tip of the hull is. Move in a horizontal direction, click, and then if it asks, do you want to erase the original object, press no. And now you can rotate your object to take a look at your boat or your yacht, and there we go, there is the profile of it. So that's looking really nice. Okay, that concludes part 1, and we're going to continue this project in part 2. Peace.